Right, given that it's about 3 o'clock, I guess we'll get started. I got a few AI tools popping in here. That's kind of cool.
Off camera.
Hey, Lee, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Uh, People are kind of filtering in here, so I'll give it a minute or two to see who comes in. It's interesting. I haven't started using them yet, but a couple people must have got their like Otter AI tools to pop in on their behalf.
Wouldn't be surprised. All new to me. I gotta go silent. I'm mainly gonna listen. I was interested. I haven't been on one of these before, so I was kind of checking it out. So I'm interested, but I don't know how much you'll hear from me again. But
Oh yeah, no worries at all. I'm glad that
all right,
you joined us. Thank you so much.
all right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely. Hey, Tammy,
Hey Frank, how are you?
good. How's it going?
Good,
Good.
good.
Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
We got a couple on here, and then a couple of AI note takers, which is an interesting kind of thing. Hey, Ann,
Hey Frank, how are you?
how's it going?
Going well. Going
Good.
well.
Let's see. Is Ann's note taker? Is that your? I'm the new AI situation is I'm like at the bottom of the learning curve. So
I don't know who that is.
okay, all right. Maybe it's Anne Llewellyn. Maybe the other Anne had it set up. Because I've noticed that now when I'm in, meetings like this, some people will have these tools that I guess sort of encapsulate what the meeting was about, and
Yeah.
it's an AI tool that shows up and then I assume later on produces a summary of the meeting or something like that. So it's an interesting thing.
I was on a webinar last night from Hospital for Special Surgery, and this orthopedist, it was all about MSK injuries and AI. And this orthopedist created this 10-second, it was probably 10 or 15 seconds video of himself giving information that articular cartilage can be regenerated and we don't need total joints anymore, but it looked so credible. And he totally
Wow.
created that. Just, it was all totally, it was a hallucination, which is an AI term for, incorrect misinformation.
Right.
But I
Right.
saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, you're just shocked because it looks so believable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the interesting kind of thing with AI is, it could put together stuff that, when you look at it, to the
It looks like
even
a
the
real life human being speaking,
right.
saying falsity. Yeah.
Hey Elise, good to see you again.
I know, long time no see. What's the big
How's it going?
hours? What? Going good. How about you?
Good, good. So these things I just put them together like once a month, just for people to get together around the industry. and related sort of spaces, and let people kind of share, talk about whatever's going on. If there's anything that's going on with you or your organization, we'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, it's just, I mean, my biggest thing is I hope it gives people a chance to connect with people they might not already know or be familiar with and with their work. And Elise, why don't we go ahead and start with you? Let us know who you are, what's
You're gonna
going
start
on,
with
what
me
you're
right
up
off
to.
the bat.
Yeah, because we were just chit-chatting about AI, which,
I
Yeah.
love the guy. It's my kind of
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, there we go.
Well, hi everyone. Elise White. I am the president, founder of Change Forward Industries, which is a business consulting firm focused deeply on workforce development strategy as it relates to program management and events to either expand or enhance early career professionals or leaders. So I have I don't even know. I'm going to say 18 years. Can I say that? Yeah, over 15 years of insurance industry workers' comp experience, of affectionately a former adjuster, claims adjuster, and have worked in different capacities in the claims area of life. And I am the board founder for Diversity and Talent Alliance, where we help to educate youth through a scholar program. And that program has a deep partnership with the WCI conference in Orlando, as well as a partnership with workerscompensation.com that we love as the voice, but focused on education, partnership, and mentorship are our core mission values for the future sustainability of the workforce. So the scholarship program educates about risk management with an emphasis on comp. I'm happy to be here. I'm a socialite and I love a good conversation. So let's get back to AI or whoever else is in the room.
Yeah, what's your favorite AI tool then?
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I've been using a mix between Manus and ChatGPT.
Okay.
What's the room's favorite AI tool? Manus is a game changer, by the way.
And I just learned something here. I've never heard of Manus. How do you spell that?
Manus, but I'm gonna actually share my Manus link in
Go
the
for
chat
it.
because I get credits, y'all, with you if you sign up with the Manus link. So give me 1 second. But it's manus.im. But if I share the link with a friend, I can use it more. But it's free, just like ChatGPT, where they have their tiers. However, why I like Manus for all the folks in the room with with a work comp background, we like the details. So they do a lot of researching and archival deep dive, and you can see where their sources they pull from as they're giving you very much in-depth documents of what it's pulling and asking you to generate. ChatGPT oversimplifies, sometimes misses opportunities to really get to what you're trying to create with the tool. And so Manus is a good medium point for that. And they give you a lot of documentation that looks really nice that you can upload, download, as opposed to ChatGPT, which is a little bit more basic. Sometimes the words are wrong, but their communication is uploadable, editable, and very much useful because it does a nice deep dive search, scraping the internet and telling you where those archives and artifacts live.
Cool. That's interesting. I'll check that out. We started for anyone that's been on the site over the past couple weeks, we started a Claire Musselman started a series on, she's calling it Back to School with AI to coordinate with the school year, and various tools for various functions that come in workers' comp. So I will
Oh,
pass that
nice.
along to her for her
You have to have a
review.
subscription at least?
No, you can sign up just like
ChatGPT?
yeah, you can sign up like ChatGPT. So they have a free version, but the more you use it, the slower it gets. And the other difference between ChatGPT is that it thinks, because it's doing a deep dive source, it takes a little bit longer for it to spit out an output because it's going to be a lot more detailed,
Okay.
and it'll give you documents that you can download.
Very
good.
interesting. Well, I guess we'll get back to AI. I want to go around the room a little bit. I know Lee had to pop on mute, and so Tammy, I know you jumped in, and we haven't seen you for a while. So if you're able to, if you want to, introduce yourself to us and let us know what you're up to these days, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm currently
That's
driving
okay.
to South Florida.
Yeah, please be
But
safe.
just wanted, yes, thank you. You're on speaker. So I'm Tammy Boyd. I'm Regional Director for TriStar Insurance Group, which is a privately owned national third-party administrator in the work comp and general liability space. And I've been in the industry for about 15 years. I've been on the ancillary side with neuro rehab, and I'm the president-elect for Kids Chance of Florida. Starting in 2026, I'll be the chapter president, and I'm really excited. And we're going to have some launching of some opportunities to increase our awareness and fundraising.
Excellent. And for those who might not know what Kids Chance is all about, do you want to share with us what they do and why they exist and all that good stuff?
Sure. It started in 1988 in Valdosta, Georgia, as Kids Chance, and then last 10 years or so, it's really just blossomed in grassroots effort where now there's a chapter in every state. So their mission is to provide scholarships for children of injured workers, and the criteria is that they have to be, the parent is either severely injured or fatally injured in a workplace accident. And so to date for Kids Chance of Florida, we've raised we've awarded over $453,000 in scholarships to over 105 Florida students. But nationally for Kids Chance of America, they've awarded over $11 million in scholarships. I can't remember exactly how many students, but it's quite remarkable. And if there's, like I said, there's a chapter in every state, and if there's a way that you want to contribute or volunteer or be involved, just go to kidschance.org and you can plug in that way.
Thank you, Tammy. And it's such a great point that is raised by Kids Chance because, like you think of a workplace injury, and one of the things that I always try to communicate to people who really don't, that when I talk about like, well, what's workers' compensation about? Like people know like they get hurt at work and it pays them. But apart from that, when you think about like the bigger picture, there's an injury, sometimes it's a catastrophic injury. And even if it's not a catastrophic injury, there's something that happens that, uh, fundamentally impacts a person's life. And then, of course, the lives of the people that they're, responsible for, that's in their family. And so, the Kids Chance mission is amazing in that regard because you think about how much a kid's life could be changed if something terrible happens to their parent as a result of a workplace injury. So we appreciate you bringing that information and letting us know how we can help out and get connected with Kids Chance.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite AI tool while we're on the subject?
Well, currently I just, because I do a lot of content development and just with important emails that I'm sending out, is just to have it, instead of spell checked, I'll just throw it in ChatGPT to where sometimes maybe it'll give it a warmer tone, or if there's a specific kind of call to action I want, it will provide that. And like Elise was saying, that it'll kind of dig into the websites of where it's extracting it from and give it more of a personal touch or meaning, or the why of why it matters. So I also do the social media for a couple of accounts, and so I find that really time efficient, and I'll just throw in keywords that I want it to populate, and it really does for me an excellent job. But interested in learning more about how to use those tools, because as most people I think here on this in this meeting, that we're still learning. So interested in learning more tools that are out there.
Yeah, big time. And there was, well, and you were part of that, Tammy, at WCI this year. AI was kind of like the unspoken subtitle of the conference. There was so many sessions on AI, and there's, I mean, just like so much to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So there was a AI track on Wednesday, and so I was thinking, gosh, I don't know how this is going to go because it's the last day, the barn door is open, everybody wants to, get home and all of that. So I could appreciate that. But at the same time, I was pleasantly surprised to see the AI tracks that they were standing room only. And even like the session that I sat into, and because the CEO of TriStar, he was in that panel, they were like rock stars. People were waiting in line afterwards to talk to them and learn more information. So it's definitely gaining more traction even at the Florida Prima. I'm involved with Florida Prima conference coming up in October, and they too have an AI track and a panel about that. So it'll be really interesting. It seems a very hot topic right now.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. Well, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Anne, we'll jump down to you, and we're 4 articles in now on your series. I don't know if you want to give folks an update if they haven't had a chance to read what you've been writing, and especially the latest that published on Monday this week.
Sure. And thank you, Frank, for doing it at the last minute. I'm Anne. I'm a physical therapist. I'm searching for my next professional job opportunity. I most recently was working for a workers' comp insurance company, and at Frank's recommendation, I'm writing a series of 6 articles on assumptions and knowledge gaps and bias and judgments and how that can impact workplace low back injury. And I'm writing it from the perspective of each of the players. So the injured worker, the providers, the healthcare providers, the payer, the employer, the attorney potentially, and so on. I've got the last 2 articles to write, the payer's perspective and the attorney. And I've had some great interviews with folks, so it's been a good learning experience for me as well.
Yeah, that comes across, I have to say, when I'm reading it, and I get the impression of this is a hallmark, I think, of good writing, is that the writer is learning something from the experts.
Yeah.
And that comes across in the writing. And I wonder if there's any one in particular that sort of stands out to you, or you say, well, what that person told me really shined a light. I know I just put you on the spot like that.
Yeah, no, the interview I just did with Tom Slattery, who's the director of corporate safety for Norfolk Iron and Metal, when he said that he attended a conference and a physician told him every single claim you should consider, especially the catastrophic and high cost claims, consider that you are handing that injured worker your credit card. That is pretty startling. Like,
yeah,
ouch.
that was a great line in that article, because
Thanks for
it
picking
really,
that out. Yeah.
yeah, it really hammered home what you were trying to communicate from the employer's perspective. Like the idea of having like actual skin in the game.
Yeah.
So great. Well, I appreciate that, Anne. And where are you in the AI journey, as this has become the informal topic of the day?
I'm feeling like I need to retrench after listening to that webinar last night by Hospital for Special Surgery.
Yeah.
If orthopedic surgeons are, oh my goodness, this first orthopedist explained so much last night about it that I've obviously just scratched the surface. But it's kind of scary to think how all of these colleges and universities and even high schools and grade schools need to add curriculum about AI.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's education wise, they've got a task on their hands. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, Anne. Thank you for
Thank you,
for
Frank.
joining us. I appreciate it. Sabrina, I see you popped in here. I'm glad that you were able to join us.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Good. How you doing? This is sort of like a monthly gathering that I put together just to give people a chance to connect with others across the industry that they either know or might not know, whatever the case might be, and to, let people know what's, like what's up with you and your part of the workers' comp world. So anything you feel like sharing, we would be happy to hear it and learn about, Sabrina Mitchell and, kind of your journey to where you are now.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's just good to see. Good to see. I think well, I know Tammy for sure. And I haven't met you or Lee, but it's great to see so many people here on the call. I don't have time to tell you about my journey, Frank. I think
Yeah.
I feel like I've been in workers' comp since I was born. It's been so long. This is my 21st year at PMA, so I've been doing workers' comp for a while. And it's not even the first company I started working at. So, but we just finished. Diversity and Talent Alliance data is it's not my second job, but it's a thing that I do that's near and I can't call it a job, but it's near and dear to my heart. And we just what I call data season. We just finished data season at WCI with our students, and the work that we do with our students it's just so gratifying because it has two prongs, right? The first thing that we do is that we're working with our students, um, giving them an opportunity to learn how to navigate in the professional world, showing them um, how to be able to meet with other professionals, and we teach them how to do their elevator speech and all the things that help them um, be be able to just navigate in the I don't say the new world, but they are in academia, and giving them a leg up in how they show up for themselves and present themselves as professionals. They get mentors and different things that they get as a part of our. Thank you, Tammy, as being a part of data. You were absolutely one of our presenters for our future forum. So they are, our students this year were grad students in qualitative mathematics, and I mean they were super super impressive. So we had the opportunity to give them the showcase them in front of other professionals. Um, but the other part of that is they are providing us with a real resource so that as our industry continues to gray out, we need to find this talent, and this is real talent. And what we're trying to do is find individuals that don't know about all these wonderful people, the people that are on this call, and all the wonderful people that we interact with day in and day out. Um, that I don't know about most of the people on this call, but I know I fell into the industry. But I've got these wonderful relationships with these people that I've known all these many years. But they won't know about our industry if we don't go and actively search it out and actively tell people about what we do, how we do it, and all the different careers, all the many different careers that are available in workers' comp and risk management. And so that's why we really, really love the work that we do. We start every season thinking where we're going to find the students, and then we find too many. And then we're like, are they going to fall into the curriculum? Are they going to like it? And they're asking us all the questions. And then they come to WCI and they love meeting all the people. Um, and so it's really, it's hard work, HEART. It's hard work, HARD. But like Tammy said, it's so the students are just so impressive, and we need them in our industry. We've got to be able to replace ourselves. I know AI is coming, but AI can't do it all. And we don't want it to do it all. Um, and it's one of the things I thought, and I think you were in that panel thought was so impressive is our AI panel where we were presenting AI, and not they weren't asking questions, they were answering the
Mm.
questions for us. And I thought that was just so exciting and so neat that they had some of the answers to the questions that we were asking. So it was just so that's what I'm doing. And that's where I find my passion.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Sabrina, because I think there's across the industry, it's kind of like, well, what do we do about AI? And it's people that are like my age and older that are kind of trying to figure this out. When there's a whole generation that's sort of growing up with it, that's familiar with it and uses it and knows how to use it. That's such a untapped resource that, what you guys do with data, like putting those two groups together, it's such a wonderfully mutually beneficial uh, kind of outcome that, the industry should take note of it. And then, it's such a great thing that, students are having their eyes open to this whole path that without, something like data, they would have no idea existed.
Yeah, absolutely. And we let them know if you like medicine, then there's a path for you. If you're a math geek, there's a path for you. If you're nosy and you want to be a private investigator, there's a path for you. There's a path for just anything that you're interested in. There's a path for you in our industry. It's a big umbrella. And so, we just want to expose them to it so that, if they go one way, they may turn around and just come right back. And
Yeah.
um, so it's very gratifying and interesting. But they're not afraid of AI, and like you said, they're living with it. So we were
Yeah.
asking some future questions, and they're like, "Well, it's going to do this," and we're like, "What happens? Well, it's going to do that." And we're like, "Oh, okay." So it's
Yeah,
been interesting.
it really is. And a totally different kind of thing from, what, my perspective or, something like that. And it's like, oh, there's there's some interesting thought out there,
Yeah,
which
there's
is a good
real,
thing. It's a good thing.
absolutely.
Let's see. And Brian, I don't know if you're able to hop on or not. I know you're muted, and that's all right. I didn't know if you wanted to have a second to share what's new in your world. And if not, that's fine. We can. Oh, there he is. There's Brian. You're muted, Brian.
That. There we go. Yeah, I'm here. You hear that okay?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm just in my, my world's always busy. Nothing really new lately. I will weigh in on AI. I do use it a fair amount, mostly for research and other
Sure.
things and comparative. I use it a lot to compare documents and distill large documents down into a more manageable summary. I will say though that I do get concerned. With AI and we're losing our human connection as a society. And I know everybody looking to AI to be the next big thing. And I'll tell you, my sense for AI and most new technological advancements is they seem to gain a greater footing in the criminal enterprise world or the illicit use first before the commercial side really figures it out. So, I mean, I worry about what AI, the harm AI can do if we're not paying attention. And I think part of our night, and you talked about this, people are, you're younger than I am, but the people who did grow up with technology, AI can be very convincing, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it can fool a lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of risk out there if we're not managing it correctly, and if we're not teaching people how to recognize it correctly, and some of it's very, very difficult. I mean, I saw an AI demonstration the other day where they took a 20-second video of a person uh, just saying nothing really, just rambling. They put that into an AI generator, fed it a script, and had that person read that script in multiple foreign languages. And it looked just like the person was saying it. And they never said it at all. And it's frightening, So if you think you can do that, that's a great use, right? To use it to translate. I mean, you think about in our world in the workers' comp, when we have to translate into some obscure language that we don't usually see, I mean, in minutes, you can have an entire document scanned and translated into, uh, some foreign language. But the risk in that is you could have someone create a narrative that's completely false that looks so real. So we have to be very, very sensitive to that. And I and I think too, we just have to be. I mean, there are a lot of disconnect between people nowadays, and I worry that, you know, we start using AI to do things and we start losing that human connection. And then pretty soon it becomes a very sterile sort of, you know, not a warm environment. And, when we have people who are injured at work and they're legitimately injured, we don't want to treat them as a, you know, as the thing that has to be dealt with. I mean, they're a human being. We want to treat them with some dignity and empathy, and we really do have to be careful with it. I mean, I think AI is going to it has a great potential for good, but there's also an equal potential for evil, and we just have to be careful that we know where those lines are, and we educate people to understand how and when it can be used well and effectively and for a good purpose. And we have to teach people how to recognize it when it's being used for a bad purpose. And that's where I think, and usually the criminals are ahead of the good guys, on this. I mean, I remember when the internet first came out, I was in our state legislature in Utah, and the fastest growing commercial enterprise initially on the internet was pornography. It was the largest commercial enterprise that they did on the internet in the early years. I don't think that's still true today, but that industry was the fastest adopter and the fastest growing industry when back in the 90s. So we just have to be careful that we put our priorities in the right place on this, and we're smart about how we use it. So.
Yeah, and yeah, the human thing is an interesting dynamic to the industry, because you have a lot, from what I've heard and read out there, is using AI to make sure that, okay, you want a tool that kind of reminds you to communicate regularly with an injured worker. But sort of the next step out from that is, is the AI doing the communication? And then, like, how's someone that's been seriously hurt, or not even seriously but hurt on the job, and they're receiving AI communication from the employer instead of a human phone call or a note or something like that. There's like you say, Brian, there's like that kind of, all of a sudden there's a break in the connection, and like, instead of relating to someone at my employer or wherever, I'm talking to a computer when I'm at home with a injury that I had at work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm
yeah,
interested in what
Anyway,
you,
those are my thoughts. Thank you.
interesting times.
And I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
jump here in a minute to head to
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
granddaughter's tennis tournament, but I
Oh,
appreciate being able
well,
to be on the
have
call.
fun. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Always appreciate you.
You bet. Thanks, Frank.
Bye now. Yeah, and so I'm happy to keep going on with anyone that wants to continue the conversation. But like I talked with Elise earlier today, I'm good if 30 minutes covers it, and you have to move on, feel free.
can I just
think
ask,
you,
what is
yeah,
Brian's
you're gonna.
organization?
I don't know if we
Did we lose you, Brian?
I think Brian might have jumped off for
No,
the. Oh, there you
I'm
are.
still
Yeah.
here. I'm still here. So I have kind of two things I do. One is I do government affairs for Enlight. So I work on legislative and regulatory issues. And then I also have a company called Optimized Outcome Solutions that delivers education to injured workers, patient education, teaches them how to get well, how to help themselves get well instead of waiting around for somebody else to do it for them. They have their job to do in that recovery process. And so we teach them about that. We really focus on mindset, nutrition, physical activity, and getting proper rest.
And it's based, Brian, it's based on the idea that, an injured worker, just like anyone else, needs good coaching.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, people have never been hurt before. They don't really know what to expect. And then they're trying to navigate a very complex workers' comp system. And so we have coaches that help guide them through that process and teach, and people who've been injured and recovered, so that they, somebody who's been there and done that. So we just try to help them understand, here's what you can expect, here's what you need to do. And your recovery and your wellness is really in your hands. I mean, you have a lot of control over how that's going to look. I mean, you can have a surgeon do a phenomenal surgery, and an injured worker can go home and screw it up in 2 days because they don't know what they're doing. And it's remarkable how the fear and the lack of understanding. We always say that no one goes to school and takes injury recovery 101. I mean, that's not really a class that you can take. So we provide that for them so that we help them learn how to get themselves well.
Can I get your email address or get connected and have a conversation with you, Brian? I'd just love to learn more about that.
Sure, I can put it in chat for you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably be reaching out to you too, Brian. I did a research study with the University of Texas in 2023 that I presented at WCI for last year, but it was talking about social impacts to injured workers before, during, and after a work accident, and what they wish their employer would know, and what they wish their employer would know about their experience. And it came down to a lot of what you're talking about, that is just not common knowledge about
Yeah.
the experience. And you think about it from a level of like a customer experience. When you go into any kind of consumer environment, it's like your expectations are shot when people are treating you like a number in a complex world, and you don't know what to expect. You don't even know what you don't know. And then jumping that over to being injured with no empathy. We came up with like these 5 Ps in workers' comp that were all about the injured worker experience that could potentially change the face if more insureds and more, claims folks understood that intimately. So I definitely want to talk to you.
I'm happy to chat. Thank you. I'm going to jump now. I got my ride is here, so
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a hotel in Dallas. So talk to you
Well, have
soon.
fun and good luck. I hope she cleans up at the tournament
All
there.
right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank
You bet. Bye.
But Elise, I think it's a great idea to clone you. I think, we should have Elise Whites everywhere.
Can I tell you how fast he did it? I mean, it was absolutely insane. And he did it for himself. He showed me how he was using these apps to do it. He sent his voice, some videos of his voice, his audio, through one app, merged it with the app for the video upload. So audio only, video upload, and then he started scripting. And he clicked play, and you couldn't tell me that wasn't my friend that I know. And both of these people, actually, it's 2 people that I know in that world that are very deep in it, and they come from a software development background. But they are software engineers, so any new latest and greatest thing, they're just jumping all over it. And while I think I'm twofold with it, I'm not scared of it to the point where I don't want to try it, but I don't want to go so deep where my data, my personal information is at high risk of being misused in a way that would negatively impact my life. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably where a lot of people are at right now, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, I appreciate y'all joining on here. I know you got busy schedules and a lot going on, so it's always good to connect with people, and hopefully it's worth your time.
This is great. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I schedule them every month. So the next one, within the next week or 2, I'll let everyone know when the October gathering will be. So, but I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Yep. Have a good one. Good to see everyone.